are. There it is. Hello, hello. Wow. All right. Well, I thought I'd just do this real quick. And hello, hello. I can't talk today. Hello, everyone in the YouTube verse. Hello. Happy Sunday. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, I think. That's what's happening right now, Super Bowl Sunday. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm not really much of a football guy, but I think the Rams are playing. So, the best team. Well, I usually watch for the Super Bowl commercials anyway. So, yeah, probably better that way. I don't mind. Time of Super Bowl commercials. Happy Valentine's Day to a special someone in your life. Gonna enjoy some good old chocolate and just be nice to people. Treat the people you admire, love, respect. That's what it's all about. Yeah, yeah. Super Bowl Sunday, excited. Should be fun. Happy February, and I thought I'd just come in here and just talk randomly about stuff in life, and yeah, what an interesting year it's been. Just thinking about life and what's important, and it's fun. I've been doing this for. It's been kind of interesting doing these. I do YouTube because I think it's a nice way to express yourself. I'm not worried about likes or views and all the other stuff. But props to the people who are able to do it. I think it's cool. I think for me personally, I'm just doing it just for me. It's nice just to put yourself out there and just. It's like the back in the day people would have diaries and journals. Now it's evolved to blogs and podcasts and posts. I think it's pretty cool. So I don't mind doing this. I don't mind doing this at all. All right. Oops, hang on. All right. So I think that's really cool. And I think 2020, happened. I think it was a chance for me to really I was dealing with a lot. I think I was dealing with a lot of things and understanding what's really important now and in terms of life, identity, purpose, and your own mortality. Nothing like 2020 as a black man to really think, oh wow, I need to rethink my life a bit. There's a lot happening in the world right now, and I think it was interesting going back to that moment when George Floyd was killed. That was horrible, but the reaction was necessary. And it's just thinking about it. I think for me, when that happened, I think there was a reaction. Okay, we need to really address some things he said, and I think in my mind, I was okay. So we need to show what Black excellence really is, and show people, hey guys, that all lives matter, but Black lives matter as well. They matter. Indigenous, Latina, Indian American, Pakistani, Middle Eastern, LGBTQ. And it's funny at the time. I think this was 2020. I think that we were getting a Black Captain America that wasn't out yet. I think they announced Miles Morales Spider-Man game, so Black Spider-Man. We had a Black Batwoman announced. At the time, the number one film in 2020 was Bad Boys for Life, about two Black cops, which was interesting. Now excited for Black Panther 2. And then Chadwick passed away, tragically, unfortunately. But what a life he lived. What a life he lived, man. Yeah. What a life. Powerful one. And just thinking of mental health, I think I was very inspired by I think when you're experiencing that when you hear just watching all that unfold, you start to realize, man, what is going on here? Like, am I next? Am I next? Why? It's like deja vu. I was watching this great miniseries, Women of the Movement, about the murder of Emmett Till and what happens after that. How his mother is just fighting for change. I thought that was very interesting, very powerful. What an interesting world we're living in now. Just this. I think with the. I think one of the things I noticed during the beginning of the pandemic in 2020 was the essential workers. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, this is interesting. I think because most jobs you just weren't really, you couldn't have it. Most jobs were just shut down. You couldn't go to work. And I know that I think when it came to mechanics, gas station people, grocery store people, they were still open and also the medical staff as well. I thought that was very interesting. And I thought, wow, man, essential workers. Yeah, people that make society go around that we take for granted. I think that's very important nowadays. And there's a show when I was a kid watched called Dirty Jobs, hosted by Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe did a TED Talk, by the way. If anyone's interested, great TED Talk, check it out. And it's a show basically about him. He would interview people throughout the United States of America who would do jobs that are very dirty and gritty and hard and difficult that most people wouldn't even think about doing. But those jobs, were necessary to make society go around. Whether it be you're a pig farmer, you're a farmer, welder, construction worker, whatever. Yeah. But it's so interesting thinking about essential workers. Like I look at around us, look at all the trees being built, the roads. It's funny because someone built that. In the house I'm living in right now, someone built that. All these houses I'm seeing out here right now, someone built that. It's like, oh wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. There are people out there who look at all the roads and buildings and office buildings, computers, heck, books, like even though Will Smith did this book, someone actually created this paper, this jacket art, these pages. It's pretty crazy. Like, wow, something that we don't think about very often. It's very interesting, Yeah, it just got me thinking. Yeah, essential workers is pretty powerful, and I think, especially when I look at when my car breaks down, go to mechanic, I understand. Oh yeah, there are people out there who, like, I'm driving my car and I'm like, oh yeah, someone actually built this car. Someone built this car, and now because someone did that, I get to enjoy this car. And it's kind of interesting how people who create things, or whether you're doctors or nurses, they do things in service to other people so that people down the road can enjoy it. Like, imagine you creating a house, and that house will be a place of many memories, whether it be good or bad. It's kind of interesting, man. It's really kind of like poetry in a way, I think about it though. So yeah, I think essential work has definitely been inspiring to look at. It's an interesting sort of thing during the pandemic, where I think a lot of companies, we realize that so many people. I think a lot of times, we support a lot of companies and all that stuff, but I think it's interesting now where I think we're entering a stage now we're in a stage where people are leaving their jobs because they feel like they're not being appreciated. And there's a lot of stuff in the news about strikes going on. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like for so long, these build companies make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and a pandemic happens. So let's take it this way. Imagine you worked at a company for 15 years. The pandemic happens. All right, pandemic happens. You lose your job. You're not making any money. The government sends you money, those to stimulus checks. And then pandemic starts to get a little better, lack of a better term. You go back to work, and then it's like nothing happens. Like, well, I worked for this company for many, many years, and you didn't even think about to help me out. Let's be honest. When the pandemic happened and you lost your job, I'm sure those executives and CEOs were doing just fine. But the common folk, the regular boys, make the company go around. Weren't making anything. They were lucky to make anything. It's gotta be a weird thing to go back to. I started this company for a long time, come back to work, and it's like, well, do I even feel appreciated more? I can't imagine for any adults and parents going through that because you have the pandemic, you lost any loved ones, you got COVID, and of course you have the election and the protests, all of that. They come back, and then especially if you're a teacher, like, okay, do my employees even care about my well-being? No, do the kids even care anymore? I can imagine like being an adult and you're watching the chaos unfold in the news, and then you come back and you're a teacher, and then the kids are kind of like, meh. And yeah, kids are kids, but it's like that's got to be a scary thought. Like it's very existential, you know. But I think also going back to that, mental health is definitely a big deal. I think there's some people I won't mention here that are going through a rough time. Someone I know has been on his own for a while, living on his own for a while, has been struggling. We talked for a bit, and then he just stopped calling me, stopped reaching out. I hope and pray that he does okay. I think it's one of those things where I think we're living in an age now where, as for men, there's this ideology where you gotta be manly, man, you gotta toughen up, suck in your feelings, which I've done. It doesn't help. I think one or two things can happen. My opinion, I'm not a therapist, not a psychologist. This is just my experience. I think one or two things can happen. Those feelings you keep inside you, it's got to come out somewhere. So either it's verbally, emotionally, or through some actions, non-healthy actions, fill in the blank. Or you address and say, you know what, I'm not okay. I need to address this. I'm vulnerable. I need to talk about my feelings. I need to find a way to be better. I mean, Will Smith's an excellent example right here. He's one of the biggest movie stars in the world. And he did a YouTube series where he was trying to lose weight and published his book. And we get to learn a couple of things about Will Smith that, oh, wow. Like, I remember there was one time where he did a movie called After Earth with M. Night. It came out in 2013. Movie tanked, and he went on Kimmel, and he was trying to make a joke about it because Will Smith used to making #1 movies. And when the Black 3 did well, then he did After Earth. It wasn't doing. You watch the Jimmy Kimmel interview with Will Smith, and he's trying to pass it off as a joke. Oh yeah, oh no, the movie's not doing so well. You know, everyone's going along with it and they're laughing out. But then you go to the YouTube series he did for losing weight, it affected him. Yeah, and he did a CBS interview. I think while he was promoting Concussion, and he talked about how that was a humbling moment for him. And on top of that, I think his dad had gotten sick, really sick. So that was more of a humbling moment for him. Very interesting, you know. And also, I think one time he made a joke about how his son wanted to be emancipated from him. Something that went up, and then he addressed it. And you just heard him, oh, wow, that was definitely deep. Of course, there's a bunch of other stuff that went on, but it was very inspiring how. I think a lot of times, you know, when it comes to celebrities, celebrities are a problem. But we're seeing lately now. At the end of the day, you take the money and the power away, they're people. They're just people. And it's very inspiring when you have someone who's like a black man say, hey, I'm big, I'm tough, I'm cool, I'm man, I'm dope, I'm confident, but I've been through stuff. I think that's very, very powerful. I look forward to reading this book. So I think that's an important thing. Especially nowadays. I can't imagine any person going through. I think it's tough. I feel bad for people who are just not able. I don't mean there's no way of me any. I'm not gonna say I'm judging. Oh my gosh, you know, feelings you're weak. No, I think I felt this way where I think being vulnerable is sort of a sign of weakness, but I think ultimately getting to a place where it's like I'm not okay. I need help. That's important. Or it'd be faith in something bigger than yourself, God, or whatever else you believe in. I mean, I think that's important. I think that really is. I was very fortunate enough. I can only speak for myself, my experience. When I protest, I'm so thankful I have my mom. I love my mom so much. And she saw that I was hurting because, you know, I was just trying to keep it in. And we had a conversation about it. It's like, hey, let's talk about what's happening with this protest. And it was a deep conversation. I'm the oldest of 4. And we had a talk, and I was trying not to cry. And she was about to cry too. We had talked about, you can imagine like if I have 2 brothers and a sister, so that makes 4 of us. Imagine if all 4 of us were killed one day by cops. I don't have to witness that. That'd be the worst thing ever. But I think there is that fear. Luckily, my mom saw that I was going through some pain, and we talked it out. And we prayed on it. And I'm glad she saw it. I think that's the point. Saying like sometimes there are things you just can't hold in anymore. It's just not good. And I think there's a sense of anxiety, and bitterness, and and fear that's in you, and just finding ways to address it. I'm really thankful for me, Zachary Levi, wonderful actor. He was doing a lot of conventions lately and talking about mental health, and it was very, very inspiring to hear. And he did a Instagram Live in 2020. I think it's still on there where he really laid it out. It was refreshing to hear because he really said everything I wanted to hear. Like, hey guys, so we're in a dark place right now in society. We need to really get it together. He was emotional. He was on the verge of tears. I was the one to start crying too. I'm like, yeah, man. Like, and I'll speak for myself. I think for me, when the protests started happening with George Floyd, I've been fortunate to have met a lot of amazing people over the years, made a lot of great friends. But when George Floyd was killed, I was hoping for some shred of support from any of my friends, and didn't really happen. And I was bitter about that. I think for me personally, and I understand that. Look, everyone's busy with their own personal lives, and I can't expect everyone to say, "Hey, I need to call this person. I need to call my black friend to make sure he's okay." But I think, from my point of view, I thought, look, if I'm a white person, and I would call all my black friends to make sure they're okay. Just leave a message of, "Hey, man, here's one I talk." But I'm thankful I have my mom. Thankful. And I mean, there are some people I literally called up. I would literally call them to see, hey, let's catch up and talk. And I would bring up Black Lives Matter. And we had a conversation about it, but I just felt nothing afterwards. I'm like, okay, this doesn't really feel good. And I even Facebooked about it. And I got some reactions back. I'm like, I don't feel anything. This feels horrible. I shouldn't have to Facebook my anger to get people. I feel like someone should literally be reaching out to me. But I mean, that's kind of selfish, a little bit vain and vanity wise. But, and I was very bitter about it for a while. And I got to the point where I was like, look, I'm thankful for the friends that I met. I had to delete my Facebook for a month. I'm glad I did. It was just driving me nuts. Because it was driving me nuts when all this political stuff was happening. And I had 700 Facebook friends. I'm like, this just feels weird. Now I was like, I feel like I was screaming through my Facebook posts, hey guys, we need to make change. And like, it felt like no one was listening. But at the same time, people are busy their own lives, and everyone's experience of the pandemic is different. But I got to the point where I'm not bitter about it anymore. I was like, look, I'm thankful for the friends and marriages I've had. This changes everything. But, I'm always holding grudges, people want to talk, we can always talk. But I think it'll be interesting to see the conversations I have now. Don't be surprised by putting up Breonna Taylor or George Floyd wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. Don't be surprised. Listen, understand, well, why am I talking about this? Whether it be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, guess what? I'm going to talk about 2020. I think mental health has been a big thing. There's a wonderful podcast I listen to called Inside You Podcast with Michael Rosenbaum. It's kind of inspiring, though, when you have, actors, people you admire, movie and television, but they spend time really talking about good stuff. Like I was very fortunate, like Michael Rosenbaum, who talks about mental health. Very thankful that Joel McHale and Ken Jeong, actors from Community, they did a podcast. And they had Keith David on, a wonderful actor as well. And they talked about, hey, let's talk about what's going on in the world. Black Lives Matter. It was very beautiful to hear that. YouTuber Tyrone Magnus, an amazing YouTuber, he made a wonderful speech about Black Lives Matter, which I was so moved by. The wonderful film critic, movie buff, the outlaw John Roca. So thankful for him and his insight and truth telling about what was going on in the world. And it's great when you have people who you admire through pop culture, and they say, hey, you know what? Look, let's talk about movies, but let's take a break. Let's talk about real life. And some people don't want that, which is fine. But I think something is just better. They have to be said. And I get it. But I think for people who are like that, you're at a world where it's like, this stuff's everywhere now. Whether you like it or not, it is there. So, I'm really thankful to have had those experiences. That's great. In a way, it feels like talking to a friend, even though we never met, though, but it's really cool to sort of have that understanding insight. Breakfast Club Power 105.1. Very thankful for those guys there who have been doing great. The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, James Corden, Jimmy Fallon, Roy Wood Jr., comedian. Sneaker Martin Green from Star Trek did a really good speech as well. Malcolm Barrett, Instagram, his stuff was really great though, and just I've been really moved by that. And but yeah, I think mental health has been important. It's been actually funny enough, ironically, Chris Cornell is a famous rock star who tragically died of suicide, and his daughter has been doing some great. He's realized mental health. That's really, really cool. That's really, really cool. Rock on, So, and I think the point, we're in a world where there's a lot going on. I mean, with Afghanistan being taken over by the Taliban, this Ukraine situation and Russia, the Asian hate stuff, the rise of Jewish hate, which is like, what? And there's a lot of policies going down, and the January 6th riots is a lot going on. Social media, bullying, and I was a teacher for a couple of months now. It's been very interesting learning, doing that, insightful. I think for a lot of kids now, I think the good news is that a lot of kids now they have the power of the sun in the palm of their hand, which is, I know, Marvel reference. But I think ultimately, what I know for kids nowadays, they're very, very lucky. because they have so much at their disposal. I had a conversation with a student. I was being a subject teacher for one day, and I had an interesting conversation. So, what's the point of school? I said, yeah, learning, discovery. But then I got to thinking about it. Well, let's think about it for a sec. What's the point of school? You're a kid nowadays, where you're in elementary school to high school. What's the point of school? Well, let's take a look at math for a second. Math, multiplication tables, counting. So let's say if you're out and about somewhere and says, hey, I have a bunch of these chairs. I need you to set up 27 chairs. Now, you could easily set up 27 chairs in one long row, but that's kind of a waste of space. But you know you can do 3 rows of 9, 9 rows of 3. What's 9 times 3? What's 3 times 9? 27. There you go. So you can do 3 rows of 9 or 9 rows of 3. Math. Let's say you have most people when you're working at a job, there's a cash register. So cash registers are technically calculators, but let's say you buy something. Let's say someone buys something. Let's say this book is $15. Whoops, $15.50. Okay, someone gives you a $20 bill. What's 20 minus $15.50? $4.50. Yep, I think that's right. Yeah, $15.50, 16, 17, 18, 19, 50 cents, 20. Okay, we're good. Yes, nailed it. All right, so it's great. So 20 minus $15.50, $4.50. But hang on a second. Let's say you give the money away. All right, it's all good. But then the customer's like, oh, hang on a second. I have 50 cents. And you could say no, and they won't mind. But what if they say yes? Well, that's bad customer service. Okay, so let's think ahead. You don't want to redo the transaction because technically your money's going to be over. You're going to ruin your money, your register. Okay, so $20.50. So you gave me $20. They gave me extra 50 cents. So it's $20.50 now minus $15.50. So $20.50 minus $15.50. It's no longer 4, it's 5. Now you just gave him $4.50. So you take the 50 cents, put in your drawer, and you give 50 cents back. Makes $5. Or you can take the money back, just give him a $5 bill. There you go. So math right there. There you go. Great book. All right. So yeah, so math. A lot of great things in math, especially if you're a construction worker, measuring stuff. So even if math, depending on where you're going in your field, math will be used probably in the bigger sense or a smaller sense. Science. What happens if you cut yourself? There's health science. When you're cutting yourself, knowing what to do, take care of a cut. Food science. What happens when you cook stuff? Different ingredients come together, they create a reaction. Okay. There you go. Food science. And also, like, in terms of if you're going to the medical field, guess what? Science is a big thing. You want to work at NASA? Guess what? You got to learn science. Even simple things, like in terms of, when you're going about first aid, that's a form of science, body. Let's see. Social studies. Racism. I mean, come on. If you're not white, then ask your parents, whatever nationality you're from. I'm sure they experience racism in one form or another. And especially kids I've seen nowadays, they are mean. I mean, if kid says one thing off, they'll just spew F words at each other. And oh yeah, I've seen middle school kids say the F word. It's not fun. Yeah, people are making fun of each other and being mean to each other for the smallest things instead of talking it out. So racism, social studies, racism. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. What do you think about it? First of all, props to anyone who's actually watching this. I don't see anyone here that, but hey, if you're watching this, let's do 10 out of 10 Jeff Goldblum high fives, or 10 out of 10 Will Smiths. There you go. 10 out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 Will Smiths, or 10 out of 10 Jeff Goldblum rating. So, thank you. But social studies, racism, math. What else to do? Science, language arts. I mean, come on, reading, writing, talking. So, say you're going in for a job interview, and you're just coming there all slouched, and your clothes don't look right. You're kind of like this. You're not gonna get hired. You just gave one more sentence. I don't know. Oh, I did this one day. Blah, blah, blah. No, that ain't gonna work. Filling out applications. It's gonna be a lot of writing, filling out stuff. And you're not giving out well thoughtful answers. You're not gonna last very long. So application filling out, paperwork, speaking properly, shaking hand, looking someone directly in the eye. Good speaking skills. There you go. First impressions. So language learning is a very big deal. Reading, writing. I think with not the tools at people's disposal right now, in terms of audiobooks. I mean, the local library's got great resource, free classes, audiobooks, Audible. Vox is a great YouTube channel. They cover amazing topics from food, movies, pop culture, politics in a short amount of time. TED Talks, TED, ideas worth sharing, from celebrities, acting, science, so many great stuff. I mean, you can literally YouTube anything. How to tie your shoes. Like me and mom worked together. We pulled up the carpet from the stairs and replaced it with flooring, all from YouTube. We had another guy help us out, but yeah, literally on YouTube. You can learn. It's amazing what you can learn on YouTube nowadays. How to cook stuff. I typed in a math thing on how to do polynomials in math, and it was like 20 videos on how to do polynomials and fractions. They have YouTube documentaries on history on HBO Max, YouTube, Disney Plus, and Netflix. Documentaries on anything. Speaking of Will Smith did a documentary with a bunch of his friends called "Amend the Fight for America," talking about one of the amendments and the history of America and racism. So there you go. Discovery Channel. There's so much great stuff. Kids nowadays, they have so much at their disposal, but it's all a matter of wanting it. It's all a matter of wanting it. And it's pretty, they have stuff on mental health. Yeah, it's amazing. They have anything. And once you look carefully, I know people are into their TikToks and Minecraft and stuff like that, but I think it's really, really cool when you can really take the time to learn. I think for kids nowadays, I don't think you can force kids to learn. I think a lot of kids, they have to want themselves. So I'll meet kids, and, you give them a sign, they don't really care to do it. But I'm not going to say, well, if you're not going to do a sign, you're going to be a failure. No, I can't judge one kid based on one interaction I had with them. There's a good chance that kids I met who are goofing off being rude, maybe they'll grow up to be successful. You never know. They can change, or hopefully over the course of time, but hopefully it's what they feel. It's what they feel. If they're willing to learn, that's the best feeling ever. And it's out there. It's out there. Half these kids have phones all the time doing TikToks, whatever. But if they're willing to learn, I'm happy to help them. And it's so easy. Especially, I've been giving out assignments. I've been a social teacher, and some of these assignments are so easy. It's like, dude, this is ridiculously easy. And there's some kids out there who goof off. I think a lot of kids, they probably finish the work early, and which they're probably telling the truth. Maybe they're lying to me. I don't know, but I've been inspired by a lot of people lately. It's in the arts. I think Ash Eckstein is a wonderful actress and voice of Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars. She did an amazing memoir. I think it's Your Universe, Dream Your World. I forgot the book name, but it's a really good book. She's been an inspiration as well. George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and I'll go for the list. Ray Fisher is a great example. Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in DC Universe. I've watched a lot of his interviews. He did a 2.5-hour Vero podcast interview on YouTube. Amazing. What a wonderful human being. I met him. He's a nice guy. He's been going through some rough stuff in terms of, let's just say he was working on a movie and it didn't go well. And he heard of and witnessed some pretty not so work-like conduct. And he's been calling it out. And his career has been, I wouldn't say over though, but it's definitely on the it's on a thin ice, but in a good way. But it's interesting hearing the story and saying, no, when things are wrong, we got to point it out. Basically, he's an example of a whistleblower, essentially. And that's a tough topic, but I think it's inspiring to sort of him speak out and be courageous, and it's beautiful to watch. Huge fan of Zack Snyder. The Snyder Cut. There we go. I'm a Snyder fan. I love Zack Snyder. I love DC. And I will say I will never, ever, ever say anything bad about someone who likes something different from me. But this book right here, at least the Snyder Cut, explains how one man created a DC universe and just the whole Batman v Superman thing, the Justice League, Zack Snyder's loss of his daughter, and fans rallying of support. Just powerful, powerful stuff, man. Yeah, by Sean O'Connell, great book. That might be backwards or something like that, but anyway. But I'm really fortunate too. I remember watching Rocky for the first time last year. That was inspiring as well. So inspiring. Oh my goodness. Just about Rocky and his perseverance, about you know, not believing himself and believing himself. Am I worthy of the greatness? I don't know if I'm worthy of anything. I'm just a regular dude and just learning how to be courageous and brave and bold and surviving loss, being courageous again. I mean, the Alien series with the great Sigourney Weaver talking about sort of survival through trauma. I mean, that woman went through a lot. She's lost friends and family, and she's just a fighter, like still fighting. Karate Kid about just, I mean, Miyagi. I mean, that's all I need to say. Miyagi, what an amazing human being. Even though he's a fictional character, great character, just about such inspirational. And Revenge of the Nerds. It's a weird, quirky movie about. It's a weird movie. Weird for movies though, but it's fun. I think what's really fast with the movie, there was a moment in the movie where I realized, oh yeah, these are a bunch of human beings who love life, who are just living their own lives, and people who see them as less than human. And and in the first two movies, especially, hey, and we are human beings. We deserve to be respected. We don't want to be treated this way. We just want to be ourselves without any sense of ridicule and bullying or malice. So I thought that was really powerful. So, and yeah, look at shows like Tangled, the series, or Big Hero 6 about friendships and love and hope. You know, then you look at people in real life: Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Chadwick Boseman, John Lewis, Elijah Cummings. Um, yeah, what lives they lived. I got to hand it to Elijah Cummings, Ruth Bader, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Elijah Cummings, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and John Lewis. Those people died in their old age. And because usually in older age you retire, but they kept going because that's how much being a service and others meant. Because the world still the world needs to know, hey, we got to keep working on helping America be great again the right way. The right way. Not what the other guy said. You know who? That person, 2020. No. But it's interesting, man. Imagine just keep on fighting, even through old age. That's how much it meant to them. That's powerful. I mean, Chadwick Boseman, for crying out loud, that guy had cancer for 4 years, didn't tell anyone of his family. But he did all the movies because I think there's a moment, and it's amazing through because Black Panther was that important. And boy, look at what it did. That's not inspiration enough. Do your favor and look him up. It's not inspiration enough. Come on, guys. There's others, but But yeah, I've just been inspired by a lot of things lately, and mental health. Hassan Minaj, Pakistani, who's been a great political comedian. There's a great documentary, Avatar: The Last Airbender, called Avatar: Spirits, how one of the greatest TV shows of all time was made. Beautiful. And funny enough, I was reading an article though. The show was released on Netflix in 2020, I believe, and it blew up. And I think when you look at that show, it deals with a lot of interesting themes about racism, genocide, corruption of power. This is an animated TV show, mind you. An animated TV show. And it has all that. Heck, look at Star Wars for crying out loud. Star Wars is about what happens when the Jedi try to be selfless, but they lose their way through pursuit of selflessness. They become selfish. And then, of course, what happens when you have corrupt leadership that worms its way and destroys society? It deals with, especially in the Clone Wars, deals with political power, refugees. Yeah. This is a Star Wars movie, and Star Wars TV show. Even, funny enough, look at the Maze Runner, Divergent. And, yeah, Maze Runner, Divergent, man. Corrupt governments, people who are suffering because of it. And Maze Runner is about a global virus that affects the entire world, and people have survived. Crazy. Very interesting. But yeah, man, just inspired by a lot of things lately. And yeah, Trevor Noah. I just found out that a couple years ago, I found out there was a black CEO of a credit card company, Ken Chenault. I'm like, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah, the Harry Potters. That the Harry Potter reunion was pretty amazing. Yeah. um, Halo. I mean, what a world we're living in now with all this great content, And but I think the point for me, I think it's just looking for the helpers. I think that's the key for me, looking for the help. I think we're in a world where it's like, man, what do I want my life to be? Where do I go from here? I think I'm looking for the helpers. And I think it's easy. I think it's easy to point out what's wrong with the world, but eventually it gets to the point where it's like, well, where are we going? And who knows? Who knows how much time I have in this earth? Who knows how much time this planet has? But by the time being, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to have 10 fingers, 10 toes, breath, and I count that to be a win. I think before Steve Harvey's motivational videos as well. Yeah, his YouTube channel, they're great as well, but it's really great. It's really, really cool. And I'm thankful for his life. I'm thankful for my mom and my dad. No, man, we've been apart for a while, but we've been slowly reconnecting. That's been cool. I think that having that bitterness in your heart is just pointless. It becomes really pointless. I was listening to a podcast one time. Kevin Conroy mentioned he had issues with his dad. I think he mentioned how it's better to try to find closure with your dad while he's alive, because you don't want to wake up one day and find your dad is gone and you never ever tell him how you felt. I thought that's interesting. And I'm glad I had a chance. He's still alive though. I'm glad I had a chance to talk with him and hash it out. And it will never be what it is. I'm not expecting. Yeah, we're gonna be close again, but it's like it's better. I feel it's casual conversations, and it's nice. It's awkward still. It's like I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's nice to sort of have that. Okay, mutual respect. Okay, you did what you did, and we're working on sort of moving forward. And that weight of just anger and bitterness and it's just a lot easier. But I'm thankful for my mom has been there from day one. Day one, the Wonder Woman, the Queen, Wakandan warrior, Jamaican warrior. Yeah, that's pretty cool. She is awesome. Yeah, and just I think looking for the helper. I think there's a lot of people that passed away too soon. I mean, oh man, Betty White, Al Shabak, Bob Saget, Norm Macdonald. But I think look for the helpers. I think that's the key. See, okay, there are people out there who are standing up for what's right, who are making changes. I think that's important too. Yeah, I think it's important to call out the political stuff. And there's a lot of political stuff going on and call out what's wrong, but also saying, okay, let's try and find out what we can do to try and make it better. Because no one knows. I'm not worried. Yes, the world might end one day, sure. But until then, I'm not going to have this mentality, well, man, who cares, man? I'm just going to do me. I mean, I get it. There are people out there who feel like, okay, I don't care what the world is. I'm just going to do me, look out for me, myself, and I, and that's it. Fine. Okay, I respect that. But with that mentality, though, you do become bitter. I think hopefully, if you can take the time to help someone else out, even if it's a small action, that could be a big difference. Because I think helping someone else is definitely a beautiful thing. I think it'd be a beautiful thing. And you're helping someone out, it makes them feel good, it makes you feel better as well. Do words or actions or donations. But I think that's a cool thing. I really think it is. But looking for the helpers, man. I think that's why I admire comes people who I admire through film, and also check out my Instagram if anyone's interested. Jedi Dumo, JEDIDUMO Instagram. Got some good stuff on there. I post lots about life, liberty, and insight. But yeah, looking for the helper. I keep saying that a lot though, but it's true. Looking for helpers. I think people post things about mental health and just I think that's true. I think that really is true. I think that's important now more than ever, and this means a lot of great stuff coming out. I think with the Star Wars, a lot of great stuff through Star Wars, Star Trek, and Marvel and DC, and it's really, really cool. Do Disney and yeah, it's great stuff. It's funny. It's always great for the underdogs though. Like M. Night Shyamalan was interesting because he was a filmmaker from India, came to the United States, became a big filmmaker, made some great movies, not so great movies. I enjoyed most of them. He failed really hard making The Last Airbender. And then he made a movie with Will Smith and that tanked. So then I've been watching some of his podcasts and his long interviews on YouTube. It's great. After Earth, Hollywood's like, nah, he couldn't get a film made after Earth, couldn't get it done. So the only choice he had was to mortgage his own house. Now, if you mortgage your own house and you don't pay that money back, you lose your house. Most people won't care because, okay, he's a director, he made money, whatever. No, but that's reality. You can listen to the videos yourself. They're powerful. So he had to mortgage his own house. He ended up doing a film called The Visit. Small budget film, paid for himself. It did really well, had a great plot twist, and had the great Catherine Hahn actress. And guess what? She's blowing up right now, which, well, she's always been amazing. Like, Catherine Hahn's been amazing for years, obviously, but now with her doing WandaVision, it's like boom. But that film, The Vid, did really, really well. Had a great plot twist, made money, got good reviews. He was on Seth Meyers. He was a huge hit there. He did a convention with Zach Levi, went really well. And then because of that, he did Split. Split was a great movie, made money, good reviews, and happened to have an amazing plot twist. An amazing plot twist. Let's say nostalgic plot twist, which was awesome, which really helped out. And that led to another film, which ties into Split and another movie back then, if you know what I'm talking about, called the movie's called Glass. And next thing you know, Universal comes to him, hey, M. Night Shyamalan, we're Universal. I want to give you some money to make 2 more movies. So one of those movies already came out, old, got good reviews, decent money, and now he's doing another one soon. And he's doing an Apple Plus TV show, which is getting huge reviews, huge good ratings, and he's filming his last season soon. All because he never gave up. And I'm willing to bet money on someone can fact check me on this. He did it during the After Earth era and before the Visit era. He did a show called Wayward Pines. 2 twin brothers worked on that show. And then they went on to create Stranger Things. Now, we can make an argument that if M. Night Shyamalan had just stopped trying, there's a good chance, maybe, we won't ever know, Stranger Things would never got made. Maybe Stranger Things would have gotten made eventually, but I thought to think that because M. Night kept going, pursuing his dream, that allowed the Dark Brothers to put their foot in Hollywood and then boom, skyrocket to Stranger Things. I think the Dark Brothers mentioned it briefly on a podcast, but that's not for clickbait or whatever. I think that's something worth looking into. How cool is that? And the whole Last Airbender thing, look, I did audio commentary on that. There's some good parts of the movie. The movie is not great, but I mean, look at the talent. Mike and Brian are crushing right now. They're people love it. The show is blowing up on Netflix. They were part of the live action Airbender TV series, but it didn't work out. And now they're bringing Avatar back. So we're getting more animated Avatar stuff in TV and movies. And a lot of the actors in the movie have gone on to do great things. So it's like, it's all good. Heck, if you remember the character Asami you love so much, the woman who plays her, she was in the Airbender movie. And because of the Airbender movie, she got Korra. So it's like, hey, life finds a way. So it's good looking for the underdog. And you look at Zack Snyder. Some people with underdog, you're not appreciated as much, but you're loved anyway. So Zack Snyder, who's made all these great films, I think the way he's made films is so interesting and unique. It's different. And just the career he's been having and the whole Justice League debacle and tragedy, but also a new age, the Justice League Snyder cut. And now, yeah. And people say bad things about Zack Snyder. It's like, well, really? Do you really think he's that bad? No. He's just a guy who does what he loves. He's underappreciated and people love him for it. Yeah, people should be better. There's some people that should use better dialogue and communicate when people don't agree with each other, but it's like, it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. Yeah, it really is beautiful. It's just really awesome. Other good underdogs. Oh my gosh, there's so many out there. What else is there? There's someone else. We had Zack Snyder. We have M. Night. I forgot. I'm blanking on it though, but it's just great. Roofing underdogs. It's just great, especially people who you don't who appreciate. Yeah, this is great rooting for people who are just doing their thing. And okay, so I remember Ahmed Best. He was Jar Jar Binks. There was a lot of hate towards the character, to understand, but Ahmed Best did not deserve all the hate. He did not deserve that. He was very open about his issue with mental health, And the love he's been getting lately has been amazing. Hayden Christensen. I love Hayden Christensen. He's an amazing actor. And boy, he's been going to conventions lately. And trust me, people love him, and the girls are swooning. I mean, that guy hasn't aged a day. God bless him. And now he's going to be in 2 Star Wars products again. So it's great seeing people like that who are liked in it, but didn't get a lot of love, get some love. And even Brendan Fraser. Oh my goodness, Brendan Fraser. So it's great. It's good mental health. It's good to root for the underdogs, man. It's just a powerful feeling. It really is a beautiful thing. Well, I've been going on for a while now. My goodness. So I think what gets me going is just being inspired by people, whether through art, music, books, and I think that's somebody ever just a game changer. When you start rooting for people who want to change the world, people who are smart, quirky, and weird, intellectual, we should not be showing them any hate. We should be showing them support. If I met a German girl or a Danish girl wants to come out as a physicist, God bless her. That's awesome. We need to start supporting people who invent the weird, invent the crazy stuff. We're going to change the world. We need that now more than ever. Heck, any single person who's a nurse or a medical staff, God bless them. If you served our country in the military, God bless you. I mean, I think we also need to start saying that, I think Hasselman said it in an interview with Stephen Colbert. Well, I think one quote. Ryan Reynolds said in the Colbert interview that men tend to be the architects of people's demise. That is so true. And 2, Hassan Minhaj said in a Colbert interview that in order to being American is to recognize the successes and failures. And when you recognize his failures, it is not a ploy to make people feel guilty about themselves. So don't say when someone acknowledges America's failures, it's not to literally say, oh my gosh, I'm blaming you specifically, a white person I'm talking to right now. No. Well, you should feel shame. We should feel shame because it's horrible that people actually did this. But to say that America is great for one reason, but also America is not so great for many reasons, let's explore that. Me in the middle and say, okay, what can we do to be better? And that's what it is. But some people don't seem to get it. Some people are trying to twist it into something that is not really true. But anyway, I think that's my spiel. Looking for the helpers, There's a lot of people that have passed away too soon, which is tragic, and some due to illnesses, but some due to mental health. And I think it's important to celebrate their life, but like a cautionary tale, we need to show love, support, encouragement, and just be better. Let's learn from the past so you can not do more future. Well, I think that's it. Hopefully I said everything I said. If anyone's interested, though, I could happily show you. I mean, I have an inspiration wellspring. But another good thing to check out for instance, if you follow anyone, even actor you follow on social media, maybe they have a YouTube channel or a podcast that I'd be interested in, and it's great. There are a lot of people I follow I love movies though, so a lot of people I follow on YouTube who are great actors I follow, and they have great social media stuff that leads to YouTube podcasts, great YouTube channels out there that are not, meme or TikTok based. There's some good stuff out there with substance. So yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, I'm going to end on these 2 things right here. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it though, but I'll play it anyway. I'll leave this here, but I want to wish everyone a great 2022 and be inspired. It does get better, and I'm going to keep having faith. Keep the faith. As Thomas Smile would say, keep the faith. All right, I'm going to end it here, and I want to play this real quick. I'm going to end on some Denzel, because Denzel is always winning. Here we go.
True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already. So the desire you have, that have to be whatever it is you want to be, in front of the camera, on the stage, behind the stage. That desire for good is God's proof to you, sent already to indicate that it's yours. You already have it. Claim it. Understand this. Understand this also. You have these dreams, and as Kenny said, dreams without goals remain dreams, just dreams, and ultimately fuel disappointment. Dreams without goals, yearly goals, life goals, daily goals, monthly goals, hourly goals, minute by minute goals. Dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency. You understand? Between goals and achievement are discipline and consistency. I pray that you all put your shoes way under the bed at night so that you got to get on your knees in the morning to find it. And while you're down there, thank God for grace and mercy and understanding. We all fall short of the glory. We all got plenty. If you just start thinking of all the things you got to say thank you for, that's a day.
Come on.
That's easily a day. Right? So you have all been given these gifts. We have a little boy in our show we're doing, Raising in the Sun. And we have a circle, we pray every day. And his prayer, this boy is prayed up. He just prays that we go out and touch someone tonight. He says, God, somebody out there needs us tonight. And we all have that unique gift to go out and touch people, to affect people. Understand that gift, protect that gift, appreciate that gift, utilize that gift. Don't abuse that gift, treasure it. You have it, you already have it. And finally, I'll say this. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. I'll say it again. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. Now, I've been blessed to make hundreds of millions of dollars in my life. I can't take it with me, and neither can you. So it's not how much you have. It's what you do with what you have. And we all have different gifts. Some money, some love, some patience, some the ability to touch people. But we all have it. Use it. Share it. That's what counts. Not what you're driving, not what you're flying in, not what kind of house you bought your mama, but buy your mama house. Understand that we are all in this fraternity together. I'm just one of y'all. I'm just another actor up here on stage. We all started the same way.
And one last thing, I want to say something real quick. If anyone's interested, my Facebook is look up Facebook, Dumo Pokima, Dumopokima. Yeah, that's my name. I don't know if I said my name on here, but people do all the time on YouTube, so it's not weird. But yeah, it has all my links there. I'd probably do Linktree to make it easier though. But yeah, Facebook, Dumo Pokima, Dumopokima. Has my Instagram links, YouTube, my blogs, my great posts, and I post some great stuff on there. And I'm happy to have had amazing jobs. Worked at a landscaping company. Very thankful for that job. I'm thankful. Disney, to all the people I work with at Disney, thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. So grateful. Actually, this is my 15th year I was at Disney. 15 years ago, I started at Disney. I've had some great memories. I think I wrote a blog about it in my WordPress blog. It's so great. I'm so thankful. Thank you. I had a blast. The laughs, the lightsabers, the Pin Centrals, the Club Cools, all of it. And Star Wars weekends, yes. I'm grateful to have been a part of the Diagon Alley family, the grand opening team 2014. Thank you to the people I work with. Thank you. So grateful for that. About being thankful, let's see. I worked at UPS. See people who worked at UPS. Thank you. I had a great time. To people at AMC, it was short-lived, but I'm thankful for that job too. Dunkin' Donuts, I lasted about a week there. I could not handle that, but I'm thankful for the people that helped me out because I was having anxiety attacks left and right. Sinopolis, the Demopolis movement. Demopolis movement. Demopolis movement. I'm thankful for all my Sinopolis friends who I worked with. Walmart. Oh my gosh, they killed those my fellow Walmart brothers and sisters. That kept me going. They kept me going. It was tough. It kept me going. And the Kelly company, Kelly Education Services. Thankful for that job. Learned so much. Thankful to people who inspired me along the way. Yeah, it's worked great. And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep being thankful. Keep moving forward. Thankful to my siblings, even though we're not as close as we used to be. I'm thankful to watch you guys grow into amazing people, to create, to be strong, to be courageous, and everything you are. Keep going. Onward, upwards, greater glory. Another thing, I'm not as close to my siblings as I'd like to be, but watching them grow, that's healing for me right there. I hope they continue to grow, and cousins too. Yeah, I'm thankful. Let's see where it goes next. So, thank you. About to be 31 years old. That's wild. Let's keep going. All right, let's end it on this one right here. What else? Any job I've had? Jobs I've had? Yeah, I've had it all. It's in my blogs. Just read my blog stuff. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's end on the last one. I'm almost at an hour. That's incredible. All right. Here we go. This is the last one. It's from Denzel. He won an award, NAACP Image Award, back in 2017. And boy, it's a great speech. So let's end it on that. And we'll call it a day. All right. Happy Sun, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, Eugene O'Neill, Edward Albee, August Wilson. August Wilson is one of the greatest playwrights in the history of American or world theater. It is a privilege, an honor, a responsibility, a duty, and a joy to bring his brilliance to the screen. I'm particularly proud and happy about the young filmmakers, actors, singers, writers, producers that are coming up behind my generation. In particular, Barry Jenkins. Young people understand this young man made 10, 15, 20 short films before he got the opportunity to make Moonlight. So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, Pete Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
I mean, all right, I'm almost at an hour, so I think I'll call it. But man, here we go. I think I said everything. I think I said everything I needed to say. Hopefully, you know what I said. Hopefully, engage insight. 1 hour, yeah. Um, yeah. So check out my Facebook. Hopefully, I post some inspiring stuff for anyone. My YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, my blogs. Yeah, and anyone. Yeah, basically, I'm a huge fan of movies. So if you were ever part of a movie, basically, if you were a part of Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Trek, you're awesome. Okay, that's just science, right? And people I didn't get along with, no hate. Hope that our paths cross again. If not, may you find prosperity and hope and peace. All right, that's it. I'm gonna enjoy life now. I'm going to now. It's Sunday. I want to enjoy a long walk, food, and watch the Super Bowl commercials. Yeah, because why not? All right, signing off. Adios.